Hello and welcome, everyone. This is the show on speaking to show hosts. And what's your message in this in conversation? We have Mr. Tahir Hussain. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aziza. Lovely to be here today. Thank you so much.
Yes, it is. And we are very excited that we are having you on this show. Mr. Tahir Hussain is the founder of the Unstoppable Academy, and he is the author of the Unstoppable Millionaire book. I think it's Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, just correcting with that one. And he's the author, entrepreneur, international speaker, life coach, wealth coach, and a strategist. We are very, very delighted to have him on the call. He grew up in Dubai, UAE, and right now stationed in Malaysia. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us in this session.
It's a delight indeed to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you have a show, like an online channel, which is called The Unstoppable, right? It's under your name. It's under the topic of being unstoppable.
Yes, true. So we got a YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook pages, the basic social media structure in place. Yes,
that's right. And you have some vibrant videos going on YouTube channel. We'd love to speak about that because in this session, we really want to inspire others to look at how they can use channels, be it YouTube or other kind of video messages that goes out there in the form of shows and videos, right? So we'd love to hear from you. What inspired you to go out there and create this video channel?
Well, my obsession, Dr. Aziza, is with human growth wherever they are. And I realize we live in a world today where this is the magic. That's it. This is the magic. This didn't exist a decade ago. So imagine, so when I look at my parents and they never had an opportunity like I have, or the millennials today, right, which they might take for granted because they grew into it. It's the magic. It allows the reach to go and create impacts in a fashion that we haven't seen in human history. Yes. And that was the motivation, that why don't I tap into it? I'm still learning how to tap into all the other channels at the same time to make sure that the message reaches out there and people, yes, which is our audiences who are watching the show right now, then get to consume that content from the comfort of their home or anywhere else where they are through a smartphone device with internet. And this is free stuff. It's yes, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's for sure. And your work on being unstoppable is so much needed in today's world. And who do you think you have attracted the most? Who are your audience?
Well, I've attracted. So firstly, I'm someone who never sugarcoats. So if you're someone who would take it easy, I'm a person who would rather go in your backyard and say, rather than chanting, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, I would go and say, there are the weeds, let's plug them together and build a farm, right? So with that said, what I do is I work hard on maintaining authenticity of where people are and the skills required for them to get to the next level. I'll cover a couple of things real quick. So I talk about mindset. I talk about the psychological and the physical changes, the emotional changes required, the spiritual growth, and then the wealth growth. So if any of these areas appeal to you, you definitely want to be on the channel, because then I talk about it, and I talk about it from a point of where do people struggle? Where did I struggle? In fact, one of my favorite topics when I go up on stage or live is to talk about the failures I went through, because we somehow grew up in a society where failing was bad, but yet we all fail in different areas of life to get to where we have to. So I encourage my audience to fail forward so we can take the next step, and so on and so forth.
Fantastic. That sounds really, really inspiring. And if I would ask, in terms of the way that you have gone out there with your videos, what is the main message that you feel? I mean, you have been talking about this already, but what is the main message you feel people need to receive in today's world?
I feel, especially on social media, unfortunately, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, things were a lot real than what they seem today. Because you would go out, I remember playing in playgrounds back in the days. And the reason I'll tell you why that's important is because you could see reality with your own eyes. It's happening there, right? Because you only knew that much, maybe a 9 p.m. or a 9 a.m. news in the morning, and that's about it, right? But
Yes.
now what's happening with the social media is for somehow people look at someone's relationship and say, oh, it's magical and perfect. They look at an entrepreneur and they say, oh my god, I have no idea how this guy is driving a Lambo or a Ferrari or whatever that may be. People have started becoming a lot more pretentious out there. I'm not saying everyone is the same, but I'm saying the perception of someone who wants to go to the next level looks at it and then says, oh, they will fancy you, but they would like, oh, I have no idea how that's possible. My job as the unstoppable, before I teach the techniques and the habits and the psychological parts in the workshops and all of that, is to take a step back and understand that it hurts. Understand that it's struggle. Understand that behind the scene it's 18, 20 hours. I've got a training today at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that's behind the scenes of the unstoppable, where the magic looks like, oh my god, you can reach out to so many people, you talk to 1 million people. Yeah, but behind the scene, it's days when you barely can sleep at night. And I think that got lost in transition as we started putting our posts and videos out there. So I think I highlight that and I say, guys, now it's okay. So if you're tired, that's fine. If you've worked hard and you failed 50 times, yeah, it's okay. That happened to me. Keep going, because success could be right around the corner.
I think that kind of conversation is what we all want to have with the world. And because everybody is kind of like shut down, and this is where, the medium has become very, very powerful for you to work on. So let me also ask you, what is the next level of growth that the country or the economy or the world can have from now moving forward?
Well, I believe starting 2020, just last year, we are witnessing the biggest historical wealth shift in the world. Now, now we might see that maybe in a year, 2 years, 5 years down the line, right? But that's what we are witnessing. And the reason I say that is because when you take any tragic natural disaster at a scale we are on, and I can't think of any in my living time, but if you go back in history, you've seen wealth shifts. Some of the Fortune 500 companies were formed, came out of a Great Depression as well. So I believe that's happening. However, this is the missing ingredient about that change. The missing ingredient is because of our smartphone and the quickness with which information moves. Each one of us that quickly gets that information, and hence we could be a part of whatever that is, whether it is cryptocurrencies, whether it is, which by the way added $400 billion as I'm talking to you in January of 2021. In months, it's someone's money. If you look at stock markets that back in March lost $10 trillion and have revived back, and $1 trillion foreclosures in family homes in America alone. While the flip side is, oh my God, that's tragic, and people are losing homes. The other side is someone else is buying those homes, and again, is the glass half full or half empty? So guys, we're going to focus on that part, because these months, and I'm not exaggerating, if you get your head right and you're surrounded with the right people and the mentors and the coaches and the channels like these, you could have a completely different financial and spiritual trajectory towards your life.
Fantastic. That is giving so much of hope to people, because that's what we want to achieve in life by, not just about sharing, shallow information, but deep healing and clarity for people to work together. And in the sense that what you're talking about right now. So it's really wonderful that we are able to have this conversation and hear like real stuff about what we can do with our life moving forward. Thank you so much with that. And anything else you want to leave for the audience?
Well, for our audience, here's a quick one. Now, you might get motivated by listening to what I'm talking about, or by being on our channels, right? So here's one of the things I would like you to do, whether it is buying my book, is what is that one action that you haven't taken? And I knew you said you will do that in December, and I knew you said you'll do it in January, and we are in 2020, and January is about to finish. What is that one thing, that one small thing that you haven't done the entire year last year that you should be doing? Write it down, print it out, put it somewhere where you get to see it every day, and
Yeah.
just go and do that. Sure, the millions and everything else, but let's take one small step to move forward. And once you accomplish that, party and watch a movie, because I love movies, or anything else. Spend time with people you love and care the most, and then just party out. I mean, it could be a pizza
Yes.
party or whatever you like. Just do
Yes.
that, and then see how that feels like.
Yeah, it
Because
really
if you're
expands the
chasing,
human.
yeah, if you're chasing for that big goal without realizing that that small steps matter, that's your takeaway from this particular session. That what is that step? And if they can comment or anything on those lines, share with us. What was that
Yes.
thing that you postponed it forever, and then you finally said, I'm going to do it because I feel excited, I'm motivated, I'm just going to do it right now? Please share.
Fantastic. That's so much of value. And I cannot, underestimate anything else that you have done, because at the end of the day, so much of value you have given in such a short time. And definitely you have so much more to offer. And your videos, we've put up the YouTube channel link as well as your Facebook link, everything on the chat box as well, for people to relate, connect with you and take it forward in their life for being unstoppable. Thank you so much, Mr. Tahir.
It's a pleasure, and I've got my book here, so go and get one of the copies of this. The link is there, and give me a shout, tag me. I mean, whatever it takes, guys. Let's do it. Let's make 2021 the best year. And Dr. Aziza, thank you so much for having me on your platform. Thank you for all that you are doing, by the way, to add value to the community and the world. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in our next conversation with show host.